Hi, coming today to you with a video on a topic that was requested by one of you via email. You wanted me to talk a little bit about posture and gait. So, posture, again, I tend to emphasize it is just holding yourself up nice and tall, engaging your core muscles. Again, a review, our core muscles are from our shoulders down to our glutes, our entire torso. That encompasses our core. So, and then we're going to move into gait, and gait basically is the way we walk. It includes our stride length, how long our steps are, and our rhythm or distance. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cover all of those topics in the video today. I'm going to start in a position where we probably find ourselves more often than not in a seated position. So I'm going to turn to the side so I can show you some things about our posture and positioning when we sit down. So let me go ahead and turn. Okay, so right now I am sitting up, and you'll notice I can even roll my shoulders back and down. I have pulled back my shoulder blades, squeezing my shoulders together. I am lifting my chest and I am pulling in my belly button. There is a natural curvature here to my spine, and so I am sitting in a proper position here, engaging my muscles with a nice tall core. So generally, when we sit down, if we don't have this position, how do we obtain it? We can roll those shoulders back, and it almost feels like we're exaggerating, but we're really not. You'll also notice my chin is tucked in, my head is as if someone is pulling a string and just lengthening me from my tailbone up through the top of my head, again, the entire torso, the entire core. Now, a lot of the times, if we look at someone sitting down, we see this, right? We've relaxed, we've rounded, our shoulders are forward. We need to get into the habit of pulling ourselves out of that position. If I'm in a chair, if I'm driving, generally if I'm driving or if I'm in a bench, I think like a church pew, I drive my elbows back, and that just helps to lift again my chest, engage my stomach muscles, and help me to sit up a little bit taller. So if you're in your comfortable couch, yes, we tend to relax a little, but just do a little form check here and there. There's no reason we can't sit back and relax and still have our core engaged and not completely collapse into a poor form. Okay, engage your muscles. So those are my tips for sitting down and engaging our core. So let's go ahead and go into a standing position. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to move the chair out of the way. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you all about is I want to talk to you a little bit about anatomical position. Okay, so when I was learning anatomy for being a personal trainer, anatomical position is facing forward, palms turned out, hips underneath, core engaged, chest up, looking straight ahead. Okay, so little quick tip, if you find that when you place your hands at your side, that your hands kind of face backwards and your arms curl forward. I've done a lot of this with you in some of my classes and working one-on-one. All I need you to do is turn those palms forward and notice how nicely my chest and shoulders opened up. And then if I pull in my stomach, all of a sudden I'm standing a little bit taller, my hips have maybe tilted forward, and I'm more of a neutral and controlled position. So I'm going to show you that from the side. I'm just kind of relaxed, I'm kind of slumped here. My hands are forward. Now if I just open up those palms, again, lift my chest, pull in my stomach, you'll notice how nicely I line up. So it's not a natural position. It should be, but because most of the activities that we do are bringing us forward, or we just kind of, start to look down as we walk, right? That's something else that we do, trying to be careful not to fall. We lose that upright position. So I tell people when you're walking, yes, you want to look down, but notice I'm looking down, but I haven't lost my control in my core. And then I immediately look up, so I avoid that forward falling head as well. Okay? So again, practice just bringing yourself up into anatomical position, right? Once your hands are here, we don't have to walk here. We'll look a little bit strange. But I can just simply turn my hand in and keep those shoulders turned out, right? We have the ability to rotate here in our elbow. So again, if you feel like you're slouching, roll your shoulders back, open up those palms, belly button in. You'll also notice I tuck my hips under and I open up those hip flexors, where if we sit down a lot, we see people walking over, hunched over a little bit. We have to work on squeezing our glutes, pushing those hips forward, pulling in our stomach. Okay, we all know how to do those things. We just have to practice and remind ourselves to do it as we're walking. If we start doing it a little bit more, it just will become your new normal. Okay, so hopefully next time I see you all, you're all walking a little bit taller and a little bit more upright and with good posture for me. So the next thing I want to mention is gait. Okay, how do we walk? A lot of us, we start to take smaller steps and we're looking down because we're afraid of falling, which is a completely, legitimate fear. Nobody wants to fall, not even myself, right? But again, if we have nice locked control, if we're strong, we should be able to walk. Again, practice those longer steps. If you notice that you're taking short steps, you can even do it holding onto a wall, holding onto something. Step forward and step back. Step forward and step back. Because there are obstacles sometimes that we need to be able to lift and step over and come back from. Okay? Up and over and come back from. Notice again, I'm not letting my core collapse. I'm keeping my stomach in, my shoulders down and back. If I need to step to the side, same thing. Sometimes people can't step to the side, so then you have to go around it. Well, why can't I just practice lifting and stepping over? Now I'm strengthening my hips and giving myself more mobility. I know I've mentioned this to you before. There was a research study that sometimes hip fractures occur before the person even hits impact because of the weakness and brittleness of those bones. How do we get bones stronger? We work out. We strengthen them. The muscles move those bones, and those bones are forced to become stronger because of the force of the pull and the push that those muscles are exerting onto them. So strength training is really important. If you can, practice walking with some light weights in hand. If you're going to go a short distance, maybe a little bit heavier weights. I know I've talked to some of you about a farmer's carry, just holding heavy weights here, nice tall posture, and taking long and controlled steps. Okay, that's great for our posture if we look at it from the side, and it's great for strength and grip. Okay, so we can carry our own grocery bags when we are able to go out and back to those grocery stores. Something else with gait, besides working on keeping long steps, is our rhythm, right? Opposite arm, opposite leg. If we want to burn extra calories, we want to use those arms. Again, I'm not here. I'm staying nice and tall, keeping my core nice and strong. So you should try and walk chest up, eyes forward. Look down, look ahead, but don't let that head drop. Once we start looking down, notice how everything starts to follow. If I keep myself upright, chances are I'm going to stay upright. I'm going to maintain that height. I know a lot of you have mentioned to me that each time you go to the doctor, you seem to be losing height. I've had people go to their doctor and tell me that they've regained some height just by correcting their posture. So again, remember posture. Roll those shoulders back, take a nice deep breath in, pull in your stomach muscles, tuck those hips under, shoulders back and down, and yes, breathe, okay? But again, the more you practice it, the more your body will recognize this as a normal position. A great way to work on your posture and standing straight is backing up against a wall. Again, turning those palms forward. I've done this with you a lot too if you've worked with me. And we do wall angels. Think of a snow angel laying down on the table, which is a great way to start as well. And just bringing those arms, imagine the back of my hands are flat against a wall. And I'm bringing those up and up and up and up. And it's training me to keep these muscles nice and strong, keep my shoulders down, and elongate my torso from the side. Again, you don't need a wall, but it's helpful. You want to put your butt, your shoulder blades to the back of your head, or at least looking straight ahead up against the wall. And just practice again those snow angels. You may not be able to get this high, but it will start to relieve tension in all of these upper muscles, which you need so that you can stand up straight, look straight ahead, which again, remember, pulls you up into that upright position. Those are all of the tips that I can think of right now. Again, it is just a matter of practicing. That was 10 minutes on talking to you about core, strength, posture, walking. Keep sending me those ideas. I have another video that should be coming out in the next couple of days. I hope you're all doing well. Take care, and I will see you soon.